Welcome back to the archives, traveler. Some truths are buried not because they are shameful, but because they are dangerous. And the most dangerous truths are the ones that were planned. The fortress was quiet. The quartet sat with Field Marshal Torin in the secured chamber. The fires had died. The cocoons had been cut down. But there were still questions. Lear leaned forward. He asked what Torin knew about the Armistice, about how it was broken, about what happened 53 years ago inside the Sun Vault. Torin's expression changed. Not fear, not grief, something more careful than both. He stood, said nothing, gestured for them to follow, and walked. He led them through the fortress, down corridors carved from stone, past braziers burning with cold blue flame, down staircases that descended into the mountain itself. The air changed, warmer, brighter, and then the doors appeared, massive, ancient, sealed with runes that glowed gold and white. Torin placed his hand on the surface. The runes pulsed, the doors swung open, and the light hit them like a wall. Not heat, not fire, just light, pure, infinite, radiant. The mechanism above had channeled it for centuries, sunlight drawn from the surface, focused, directed down into the heart of the mountain. Torin reached into his coat, produced 4 pairs of darkened lenses, handed them without a word. The quartet put them on, stepped inside. The doors closed behind them, locked. And there, at the center of the chamber, on a stone pedestal bathed in eternal light, sat the Armistice of Ash, the seal that had bound celestials and sovereigns for 247 years, intact, whole, glowing. Lear approached it, studied it. His fingers moved slowly, tracing the air around it without touching. Arcane energy flickered between his fingertips. He stopped, stepped back. "It's a fake," he said quietly. Torin exhaled. "I had hoped you wouldn't see it so quickly." "How long?" Callister asked. 53 years, Torin said. Torin moved to the pedestal, pressed a hidden mechanism beneath its base. A compartment opened. Inside, a journal, leather-bound, old, the pages worn but preserved. He handed it to Lear. "This is the current Supreme Commander wrote this," Torin said. "Everything he found, everything he feared. The current commander kept it hidden within trusted hands, protected it. Until now." The quartet gathered. Lear opened the journal, and the archives record what was written inside. 53 years ago, the Order was at its peak, strongest it had ever been, most battle-ready in its history. And within its inner circle, 3 members grew restless. They called themselves the Cabal. Their argument was quiet but deliberate. The Armistice would not last forever. The sovereigns would eventually move. Why wait to be caught unprepared? Strike now, eradicate the demons while the Order stood at full strength. The Supreme Commander disagreed. To the Cabal, he was simply old, passive, going senile, unable to see what was clearly before him. So they worked in shadows, a whisper here, a suggestion there, gathering the hot-blooded troops, the ones who wanted battle, not peace, building something within the Order without the commander's knowledge. But the Cabal did not act as one. 2 of them believed, genuinely, completely. They saw a passive commander and a world on the edge of war and thought they were doing what was necessary. The third was Grand Magister Moria, the strongest wizard in the Order's history, brilliant, charismatic, utterly convincing. He did not believe in the cause. He had written it. Every whisper the Cabal spoke, Moria had placed. Every troop they gathered, he had directed. Every argument they made against the commander, he had constructed. They believed they were leading. They were being led. Because Moria did not want to eradicate the demons, he wanted access to the vault. And he got it. On the night the seal broke, Moria was there, in position, with access no one realized they had granted him. He broke the armistice himself and vanished. Not killed, not captured, gone. The 2 remaining Cabal members were dishonorably discharged, stripped of rank and title. They had been manipulated as thoroughly as anyone else, but their actions had consequences regardless. The Supreme Commander replaced the broken seal with a replica, took the real pieces, shattered but not destroyed, to another location for examination, to understand what had been done and whether anything could be undone. His investigation continued for years, and what he found in those years was darker than the breaking itself. Moria's origins were not what the Order's records claimed. His mother had not been a scholar from the eastern provinces. The commander's records described her only as ancient, hidden, something that had walked among humans before the armistice was forged, undetected by celestials, by everyone. Long enough to have a son, long enough to raise him, train him, convince him of his greatness, his birthright, his purpose. The commander could not name what she was. His investigation had not reached that far. Only that she existed. Only that Moria was her instrument. Only that whatever she had set in motion 53 years ago, he had completed it. The final entry was not a report. It was a conclusion wrapped in fear. The breaking was not rebellion, not hot blood, not impatience. It was a plan, executed perfectly from the inside. For the first time since the journey began, the brothers exhaled. Every name in the journal had been documented, every soldier, every civilian connected to the events of 53 years ago. Their father's name was not among them. That fear, at least, was gone. Lear closed the journal. The chamber was silent. Torin led them out of the vault, through the corridors into the fortress. A rest area had been prepared, clean, quiet. At the entrance stood their guards, the soldiers from Iron Cove, the ones who had survived the spider nest alongside them, familiar faces, trusted ones. Torin nodded once, left them to rest. The archives record this as a moment of reckoning. The armistice was broken deliberately by a man who was more than he appeared, sent by something darker than the Order ever imagined. Grand Magister Moria is gone, but not dead. The real pieces of the seal exist somewhere, a location the previous commander protected with his life. And Moria's mother, patient, hidden, is still out there. Whatever she set in motion 53 years ago is still unfolding.